How about now?
There it is.
There we go.
I guess I hit the button, guys. I'm sorry about that. Let me go ahead and start all of that over. Jeez. So, like I was trying to say, for those of you who are watching the replay, we've got two sales geniuses here. We've got Justin and we've got Zach. Zach is a former student. Justin is Zach's business partner. Both of their agencies are now doing over $50,000 per year in revenue. All right? If you want your agency to get to that point, you guys better ask some really awesome questions tonight about landing clients, because these guys know how to do it. They're doing it right now. But even more importantly than that, what really sucks about getting a client is when you get a client and you start sending all these leads to them, but then they never close any of the leads. What these two actually found out was it wasn't their leads were bad leads. It was the fact that the business owner wasn't following up with those leads. And so by implementing their new company that they created, they're now able to keep more of their clients for longer than just 3 to 4 months. It's extending out 5 times as long as that, because they're bringing in actual money to the business. They're actually generating revenue, which is our job, right? So we're going to talk all about that. But if you guys have any questions about sales, these are the guys to do it. Again, Zach, this it's amazing for me to see too. I'm like stupid excited that he actually could come into town, because of the fact that just a couple of years ago, Zach was hitting me up about the program, asking me a bunch of questions, trying to get involved. And now, 2 years later, the dude's doing $50,000 a month in revenue for their agency. So if you don't know how much that is in a year, guys, that's $600,000 in a freaking year. It's a lot of money. That's a lot of revenue, right? And that's just one of his businesses. Now he's starting him and Justin have started this company called Conversionly, and he's using his digital marketing knowledge that he gained from taking DMS 2.0 and even applying it to that. So it's incredible to see the experience of students and to see their growth. So I'm excited to bring these two guys to you today. We're going to get started here with some questions. We're going to go ahead and skip the pleasantries of saying hello and stuff like that, so you guys can get as much time with these two as you possibly can. But basically, we've got everybody saying, Jordan, where's your audio? You're an idiot. And then we'll skip down to, okay, good. You can hear me. Awesome. So you guys do me a favor, since you were so nice to let me know that the audio was out. I'm sorry about that again. Just do me a favor, write your name or something that lets me know who you are in the message box, so that way we can get to know each other a little bit. We're not going to do a whole introduction like I normally do, but put your name in there so at least we know who we're talking to. And then after that, hit that thumbs up button right below this video, so that way more agency owners or aspiring agency owners just like you can get involved and get the training and help that they need from guys just like us. I love how they're like, I look down, you guys are laughing here, but up here, it's funny. But anyways, guys, so ask your client-related questions. Are you trying to get clients? Are you trying to set appointments? Because that's what these guys, their whole service, Conversionly, which again, we're going to talk about Conversionly later. I seriously think you guys are going to love this product. But outside of that, these guys are conversion experts. They know how to get people on the phone, and then they know how to take those people who are on the phone and get them to close and set that appointment, so that way you can actually go in and pitch your proposal, right? Because here's the thing, guys. It doesn't matter how great you are at pitching a proposal. It doesn't matter how great you are at running marketing campaigns. If you can't get into the meeting to actually pitch the proposal, there's no point in being great at all those things, right? So ask some questions, ask away. I'm going to let them field the questions, and then towards the end of the video, we're going to talk about this offer that we have for you guys, seriously, which includes, by the way, it includes their sales scripts. Everything that they say, guys, they're going to include at the end of this video. So if you want access to their sales scripts, everything from text message to follow-ups to voicemails, what else, Zach?
You got rebuttals.
So,
yeah. When to call.
When to call.
What
everything.
time to call.
Everything you need to get deals, these guys are going to give you in a template. So stay tuned to the end, and make sure you hit that thumbs up button, because if we don't get at least 20 thumbs up by the end of the video, I'm not even going to give it to you guys. Or am I? I don't know. We'll see you at the end of the video. So make sure you hit the thumbs up.
People do pay consultants $500 an hour to help them write scripts like this. So,
dude, they're giving it to you for free. They're probably saving you thousands of dollars in input to get something like this of your own created. It's insane. So we can hear you now. It's alive. Focus needs some work too. Per month, you mean? Yes, $50,000 per month. It's insane, right? But it's actually really not. That's the thing. People think that $50,000 is so impossible, and really, these guys are probably sitting here nah, we want $100,000. We want 200 grand a month.
250
Yeah,
grand.
250
What are you
grand.
talking
Yeah,
about?
250 grand a month, right? So 50 is, and it really, Zach, and he'll tell you a little bit of his story, and I'm sure Justin's is probably very similar, but these guys had this point in their journey where they realized, they could only take on so much, and then they hit this ceiling with their sales. Now, with the product that we're going to talk about later, it's even higher, and they're getting better results for their clients. Their clients are happier. They're sending referrals because they're so happy. So just trust me, guys, you're going to want to stick around to the end. All right, so we got our first question from Fancy Bear. I love these names, I swear to God. Fancy Bear asks, sometimes business owners contact me, but I feel anxious on taking on their job and not making profit. Sometimes because I feel that their products are not really scalable. What is your opinion? So I guess that's actually a sales-related question.
Yeah.
What do you guys do when you find a company that you don't necessarily vibe 100% with their product? Do you go after that and actually try to land them as a client, or do you kind of steer away from that? What do you think?
For me personally, no. I'd stay away from it because the way I look at it is if you are not interested in something, if you don't feel comfortable marketing something, then that is going to take a ton of mental capital and time to develop the systems, the marketing materials, etc., to take that business and do the best effort you can for them. Time that you could then be prospecting and selling to people that you do want to work with. So I think, the best piece of advice I can give for Fancy Bear is I went from $2K a month to $15K a month within a 2-month time span when I shifted my focus from trying to be everybody's hero and focusing only on the things that I enjoy doing.
Great answer. What about you, Justin?
Yeah, so what I would recommend, I kind of stayed around the 10K mark,
right?
Doing like website SEO, like PPC, Facebook ads, but
sure.
I kind of when I started to niche down, that's when I really started to climb up. Right?
So focus.
So focusing on specifically one thing. And that's really, if you can get it down to the minimal viable product and just do that one thing really, really good, that's how you can really start to scale.
Right.
Because then it becomes you're building processes and systems in place, and if it's just, you're really just doing that one thing, then you could start really getting good at it and then just start prospecting like crazy and getting the results. Yeah.
Totally agree. And they said it perfectly, guys. Niche down, find a focus, and study that focus. And like Zach said, if it's someone that you're not going to vibe with, number one, you're probably not going to enjoy the relationship. So it's going to suck. So stay away from those types of customers. But also, if you don't vibe, then that means you don't really understand, you don't have the same passion that business owner has, which is going to make it very difficult for you to actually go and create a marketing campaign that you put passion into. Marketing is all about passion, and it's about understanding a potential client, which is their client, not your client, but your client's client. It's their passion for the reason why they would need that product or service to begin with. So if you can't passionately express why someone might need it, it's going to be very difficult for you to be able to get results for that type of client. So
one other thing that I would add, I don't
sure,
want to
no, of
interrupt
course,
you.
go ahead.
A lot of people, since we're talking about niching down, a lot of people, when I was listening to podcasts and videos and stuff, they talked about niching down, but I was in the point, it was dude, I just want to make money.
Yeah.
Right. So until I feel like small businesses or marketing companies who are just starting out, until you get to that 10 or 15K mark, and you're starting to get consistent revenue. Get to that 10 or 15K mark, find out what you want to do, what you're interested in, what you're really good at, and then niche down.
Yeah.
Right? So,
absolutely.
I think niching down too early is also something that you could, do as a mistake.
Yep.
But really, when you want to start scaling to $50,000, $100,000, $150,000 a month, you really kind of got to niche down and be good at a couple of things.
And it makes it easier because what you don't understand when you're first starting out is, okay, I'll take on any business. Every time you take on a different industry, number one, you have to learn about that industry. Number two, you have to create resources surrounding that industry that you're going to use to implement campaigns. And that makes more time, more work, more money spent on getting all of that set up. So biggest thing is, again, in the beginning, a lot of you have and that's also a good point that I think I should make is everybody thinks there's only one way to do something. But guys, in reality, the truth behind it all is there's 1,000 different ways to start your agency. There's 1,000 different ways to land clients. There is no one best way. I mean, there's ways that are usually more effective than another, but that doesn't mean that there's one best way. So really take that in mind. Justin had a different approach than I did when I started my agency, but he's still making $50K a month. and he's definitely not hurting. So why, it's just, there's no one way to do it. I have my preference. He has his preference. Zach has his preference. And that's really what it comes down to. What are you most comfortable doing? And are you going to do it consistently, really, each and every day to get to the goal that you want to reach? So, good question, Fancy Bear. I think that had some good conversation. And again, if you guys are just hopping in here, we've got some sales experts, some SMMA sales experts in here. These guys are doing over $50,000 per month with their agency in revenue. So if you want to ask questions, tonight's call is all about landing clients, getting better results when with your sales, with your outreach, with your follow-up. All of that is what we're talking about tonight. So I'm sorry if you put a question in there that's not about sales or follow-up. We're not going to go over that stuff tonight. We're only focusing on getting more deals, which I'm sure you guys are going to love anyway. So let's get to the next question. Fancy Bear's name is Julian, by the way. Thanks, Fancy Bear. I appreciate that. Jarrell is asking a question, and I think this is one, it kind of goes off the last point that you were making. What niches do you guys want to work with or prefer to work with the most? Zach, I'll let you.
So for me, when it comes to the agency model, my entire focus is on medical practices. Specifically, I work with chiropractors and dentists. Those are the brunt of everything that I do. And by doing that, by niching down, by focusing on those two segments, I have then been able to productize my offer. Rather than trying to relearn or recreate the wheel with every new industry, I'm building the exact same systems, the exact same marketing campaigns and programs with slight variations for every single new client I get, which takes the normal onboarding process of 5 to 10 days and breaks it down into 24 to 36 hours. I have a brand new client up and running.
Right, which is called standardization. It's standardizing your product and service offering, meaning we get it down to a point where about 80 to 90% of what we do for every new client is the exact same thing that we did for every other client that we brought in, no matter the industry. You can do the exact, you literally just create a process, standardize it, and as long as they have the same marketing needs, you can do and perform the same exact steps over and over and over again, pay much less to do it the second, third, fourth, fifth, and consecutively down the road because you've done it 1,000 times before. Standardization is key in scaling any kind of business because if you're always doing something custom, it makes it much harder to actually grow, right? Anything customized, you usually, if you ever look at, for example, a customized, let's look at West Coast Customs. If you guys have ever seen that show, what was it actually called?
It was West Coast
West
Customs.
Coast Customs?
Yeah.
Okay. West Coast Customs.
Pimp My Ride.
Yeah, Pimp My Ride. Yeah, that's what it was. They had Pimp My Ride, right? They only had one location, though. Why? Because they were so customized that you can't really... It makes it difficult to take that location and move on to another area because you have specialized experts who are great at painting, you have specialized body guys, you have specialized talent, really, that can only be done here. With your agency, you want to take a different approach. You want to actually look at it as, okay, what can we actually standardize to where every single time, the onboarding call, the onboarding intake form, getting the strategy prepared for a new client, getting the campaign set up for a new client, it should always be consistent. So that's a very good point. I think standardization is a huge thing. So that way, and really standardization comes from picking a niche. So Zach said his is medical. Justin, what's yours?
Yeah, so my journey when I first started, obviously, like I said, I started doing SEO and websites and Facebook. And then it got down to niching down into Facebook. And then from Facebook, it got down into niching into local lead generation.
Right.
So working with local businesses, trying to get them business, restaurants, chiropractors, real estate agents. From there, it went to chiropractors, and then now I kind of got the chiropractor thing down. So now I'm kind of moving over to real estate.
Okay.
So that's kind of the niches that I'm in.
But you heard what he said. He got chiropractors down. He understands how it works. He probably has a standardized process.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's why it's so easy. So now he can move on to other niche industries or different types of businesses, and it's not as big of a deal. It's not as much of a stress on him or his business or his employees or his contractors because of the fact that they have one system that's working. We're going to take some bits and pieces from this system, implement it into this new system for this new industry, and that's it. Now we're rocking and rolling a new niche. So great question there. Jarrell, what else do we have? Do you think Facebook Messenger as an outreach is valid as my main outreach method compared to cold calling? So, Messenger or cold calling?
So, who asked that question? Allie?
It is, actually I believe it was
Ollie? Yeah, it was Ollie.
Yeah, Ollie.
So with that question, using Messenger as your main outreach, don't let Jordan, and don't let Justin tell you the answer to that, because none of us are going to have the correct answer. The true answer is in the data. So you test different channels, cold email, you test Messenger, you test cold calling, you test LinkedIn, you test all the different prospecting methods that you can use and leverage, and then you see what's going to give you the best return on investment. And time is an investment. So what's returning the most positive replies in your pipeline consistently? Then you 10x that effort. If Messenger is the channel that's getting you all those people contacting you and wanting to do qualifying calls or demos with you, well then create 4 or 5 other Facebook profiles and just scale that up. The reason I say create multiple profiles is because there's a limit on how many messages you can send on Facebook.
Absolutely.
What are your thoughts?
Messenger is not the best. I'll just go ahead and say it.
And that's fine.
That doesn't mean that I don't do Messenger. I have about 10 prospecting channels that I go about doing. The best ones is probably, like in this order, voicemail drops, Facebook ads, and cold email, right? And then, you go into like Instagram messagings, Facebook messages, LinkedIn. You kind of go down the road there.
You have a million things. You can
there's
mail
all
people
kinds.
letters.
And I do every single one of those, every single day, even on Sunday, because I feel like some people take Sundays off, but at the end of the year, I got a handful of days that those other people got to take off that we're reaching out to people.
Outflow equals inflow.
That's right.
Very well put. I think, and that's the biggest thing, guys. The biggest point that we have to get you guys to understand, because this question gets asked every week, it gets asked every day, it probably gets asked every freaking minute. There is no one best way. Find out what works the best for you. Just because Zach's good at emailing or cold calling doesn't mean that you will be, right? You might be much better at Messenger than Zach ever could be, and maybe that's what works for you, right? So figure out what works for you. Do what Zach did. Do what Zach said. Test what methods there are that are available. Find out which one produces the best result for you, and then make that your primary focus. But don't forget about the others. Like Justin said, use all of the avenues, because you should be everywhere. It's called omnipresence, all right? Meaning you're on every platform, you're in every avenue, wherever they can try to find somebody about marketing, you're already there talking to them. All right, super important part.
What will happen, and always continue to happen, is it'll change. So always be testing.
Sure.
Right?
ABT.
So for me, if like voicemail drops and cold calls and Facebook ads is working really, really good right now, it might change the Messenger, whereas Messenger is the number one thing. So always be testing.
Very good point as well. Frandorf, you said, really, is that true? What are you talking about there? Susie the Geek. Whenever I cold call a company, they tell me to send them a proposal via email, and I do. Yet I have never gotten a response back. What should I improve? So, Susie, I'm actually going to say this one right here, because this one is so plain as day. Let me ask you something, Susie. If I sent you a cold email and we had just previously talked, and I send you a proposal over email via email for $50,000 for a year, have you ever bought anything or even thought about buying anything via email for $50,000? No. The issue is a lot of people send out the proposal to the business owner before they ever meet with them. Now, let's say you're landlocked. You can't meet them. Well, if that's the case, then you need to be on a video call with them. But you never, ever, and I'm sure these two will agree with me, you never send a proposal via email just without having any kind of conversation with them, either on a video chat or in person, or even on the phone would be better than just sending them the email itself. So never send the email. That's why you're not getting a response back, because if I open up an email and I don't understand the value, I don't even understand partially the service that you're trying to sell me, and you want me to spend $3,000 a month, I'm going to look at that and be like, ha, fine, no, I'm going to move on to something else, because that's not even worth my time. Right. You haven't built value in the service that you're trying to sell, and that's the point of being in person or being on a video and selling. So what do you think, Zach?
Honestly, sending a proposal before I ever am able to actually learn about their wants, their needs, and then show them what I can do for them, I use the strategy of setting a proposal if it's somebody I know I don't want to work with. That's the only time I send a proposal without giving a demo.
I've done that.
I don't send them price. If they consistently hound me, well, what's your price? What's your price? What's your price? Look, I don't think we're going to be a good fit.
Yep. Right. Price-sensitive people are the hardest, and they make it very well known. What's your price? Just like Zach said, they're going to continually ask that. And you have to be willing to give up a contract or say no. Because that's where too many people I've seen that, like, I had a student, and I'm not trying to bash this person, but he reached out to me the other day and said, yeah, we're doing great, or I don't even think he's a student. Either way, he reached out to me and said, yeah, we're doing great. Oh, that's what it was. He was reaching out with my new Done With You agency program where we build it with you. So he filled out the form, but then he said, no, we're doing great. We have 4 clients. I just signed my 4th one for $500 a month. I was like, okay, well, then we need to have a talk about your pricing and the service offering you have, because if all 4 of those are at $500 a month, you're not doing anything that would be just for your agency. So I think the biggest thing is understanding who you need to go after and whether it's actually worth it to you or not. If you find, okay, well, this person is only considerate of price, they're clearly going to shut me down when I come to them with a $1,500 offer, much less a $2,500 offer. So there's no point in wasting your time. Prioritize time. This is why people fail all the time, because they run out of time. Now they've realized, oh, well, I don't have any more money to spend, or I don't have any more time to do this. I got to make money for bills and kids or family or whatever. Stop wasting your time on shit that doesn't matter. Spend it on areas of your business where it really does. So good point.
And to add to that, I think one of the best things that helped me was I was the cheap guy at first when I first started. In most cases, that's how it goes, because you're learning. You're learning what not to do. But also putting yourself out there doing those cheap cases for short periods of time.
Sure.
Then you could turn around and leverage them to get a video testimonial from that client. Now you have social proof that you can then leverage in sales processes going forward.
Sure. So I can agree with that. If you are brand new to the industry and you're looking for testimonials, you're looking for not, and I don't want to ever say this because I hope that you guys aren't out there trying to get experience on your clients'
dime.
On their dime, because that is the easiest way to screw yourself and your agency over permanently.
Reputation.
You need to get some kind of experience on your own, whether that be doing it for free with a family member or something like that. But then in the beginning, if you still need to generate more testimonials and customer feedback and social proof, that would be the only time I would ever say do anything for $500 a month. And you still better not be doing their website, their social media, their email marketing, their search engine optimization, and their pay-per-click for $500. You better do one service, only focus on that, and really just keep it about that service. But Justin, what's your opinion?
I think if she's or he or she is telling you just send over a proposal, that's just them telling you, like, I don't.
It's an objection.
Talk. Yeah.
Yep.
So what you should do in that point in time is like, hey, I would really love to send over a proposal. However, what I'd like to do is ask a handful of like qualifying questions just to make sure there's a good fit between you and I.
Sure.
Right? And then you start asking those qualifying questions. And what we do, and I think Zach does the same thing, we ask a handful of qualifying questions to see if, one, they're even a good fit. And essentially what we're doing is qualifying or disqualifying.
Right.
Because what we don't want to do is get someone, so the way that we work is qualify, and then we set them onto a demo call.
Right.
And on that demo call, we go through everything that we do from A to Z. And then what I like to say is that way you can make the best decision for you, your family, and your business. And then from there, we kind of go into the proposal, right?
Okay.
I will never send someone a proposal without going through my demo.
Yeah,
Yep.
100%.
But
and
everybody that goes through your demo,
everyone
you
that goes through
send
the
a
demo
proposal.
gets a proposal.
Right.
No
Even
matter
if they
what.
say yes or
Right.
no or whatever the objection was.
Right. But, and I feel like that's kind of, it leads into something else, guys, where, so we ask questions to qualify the businesses, right? But I feel like a lot of people are almost afraid to say, hey, can I ask you some questions to see if it's a good idea for us to work together? Like, they don't want you wasting their time. Like, they would be more appreciative of you asking those questions, taking 5 minutes to qualify them and say, oh, we can't work together, versus wasting, 2 hours of their time pitching them a proposal to find out later, oh, you can't even buy it? Well, what the hell is the point of the last hour or two, right?
And it's
So
a
that's
total
segue.
mind shift, too,
Yeah.
because you're not coming to them like, please, 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 let me work for you.
Right.
You're asking them a handful of questions, and then after you ask those questions, it's like, hey, I think we're a great fit.
Yeah.
What I'd like to do now is schedule about a 20 to 30-minute demo. We'll walk you through our entire process from
Yep.
A to Z, and that way we can make a decision on what works best for both of us.
To
Right.
parlay on that. So this is a pro tip. What do you say to ask those questions? Hey, do you have 5 quick minutes so I can make sure this will be a good fit for you and for us? Be honest. People don't like runarounds. It's 2020. We don't have time to be wasted. Get to the point, and people will respect you for it.
And always tell them it's about not wasting theirs or your time.
Yeah.
Everybody loves when you save their time. Why? Because I don't want you to fucking waste it. That's it. It's as simple as that. So don't waste it. Tell me, hey, so we don't waste anybody's time. I have a few questions to make sure that we're a good fit for each other. And I always say good fit. For some reason, that phrasing just always works. So that was a good question. I believe that was that Allie? No, that was Susie. Susie the Geek. Great question. Adrian has another question. Did you already ask one? No, you didn't, so I'll let you get this one in. What's the best way to close a deal with a potential client who constantly asks for references? Well, I'll tell you right now, it's have references. But let's see what Zach and Justin might say, because they just got through going through kind of. They've been in it now for a while, but they were at the point where you guys are at. So what do you think, Justin? Or Zach?
So for me, like I just mentioned in the last response, is building up video testimonials. Let those speak for themselves. If you don't have references, just be like, unfortunately, right now, we do not have clients that are willing to speak to new clients. Or position it as, hey, out of the respect out of my client's time, we don't allow voice references. You can feel free to check out our reviews on Google. Feel free to check out our reviews on Facebook. And if you need some more confirmation, check out these video testimonials. Really few and far between do people ask for references. If they ask for references, then they're not confident in your sales pitch. So that's really what it stems back to.
And that means that you need to look more at your sales pitch and the way that you come across when you deliver versus actually trying to focus on references. Because if, like Zach said, they're not comfortable moving forward with you because otherwise they wouldn't be asking for people to prove that you can do what you say you do, right? So you need to figure out what you're doing or saying in that actual pitch to make them not want to trust you or believe that you can actually do what you're doing. The other thing that I would say, and before I let Justin take over, is the fact that if you don't have any references, you just need to get some. So that's, like we mentioned earlier, where you're going to work a little bit for free, work at a discounted rate, but you need to do something. And everybody knows somebody else who owns a business and would be willing to let you work on it for free, because everybody loves free work, right? Especially if you can do a good job at managing that person's campaign. So that's my opinion. Use an easy way to do this. I have the perfect example for you guys. One of my students in my program created a review video. All he did was go to my review section on Facebook, take screenshots of all the reviews, put it on a nice overlay, put some music to it. It was like 2 minutes long, sent it over to me, and I left him a review on his Facebook website because I got a free video out of it. And all it took for me was saying, this person is great at doing this. Thank you so much. We'll definitely be using them again. It's as simple as that. Do something. You don't have to go out and manage an entire campaign to get referrals. All you have to do is do something small, because all you're really trying to do is give the appearance that you've worked with thousands of clients and you're going to treat them just like you would every other client, and you're going to get them results just like you would every other client. Justin, what do you think?
If someone's asking for references, that probably means that in your pitch deck or your demo, you don't have enough social proof, right? So like Jordan said, try to get video testimonials. And it doesn't even have to be like you're doing it for free, right? So like you said, everyone knows a business. Someone can give you a video testimonial on not like your service, but you as a professional and as a business owner, right?
Yep, that's a great point.
I'm a part of a couple of networking groups. I shot a video for a real estate agent, and it's like, hey, she's awesome. She'll help you sell your home fast, this and that. I've never worked with that real estate agent. I sent that over to her, and I actually did this to a handful of people and got a ton of video testimonials. I was like, hey, everyone needs a review. Right? Or no, I said everyone needs a video testimonial, right? Sent that to her. Within 5 minutes, she sent one back to me. I did that 5 more times. The next thing you know, within 24 hours, I got 5 video testimonials, right?
There you go. So, objection overcome.
What'd I tell you guys?
A couple of
Sales
other
geniuses, guys.
A couple of other things that you should do. In between, so what we like to do is we get the lead, we do the qualifying call, and then we try to set a demo call at a later date, because what we do is we have a sequence of like text messages and email drips that go out, sending them our video testimonials. So that way they're a lot more warm, and they've already seen the people that you've worked with telling you how great you are.
Right.
So hopefully that, on top of like putting in a really, really good video testimonial in your pitch deck, at the end of that, your demo, you shouldn't have anyone asking for references.
Yep.
And if they do, what I like to do is ask someone, like someone that I'm really close to, or like a client that we've had really, really good results for, is like, hey, dude, do you mind if someone asks if I just call you up? And you're like, yeah, that's fine. So at the end, if they're like, hey, do you mind if you can give me a reference? It's like, yeah, sure. Hold on 1 second.
Right.
I call him like, sorry, he's busy at this time. Or if they pick up, they talk to him for about 5 minutes, and then boom, there goes that objection.
Right. And you're on the phone the entire time, so it puts that person in an awkward position.
Oh, they're like, oh, wait, you're going to do it right now?
Yeah.
I ain't got nothing
You
to
said
say.
you wanted it.
Yeah.
We're here to waste time. We're not here to waste each other's time.
Right.
Objection, like, done. What's next?
Yep.
Give me the next objection. Okay, boom. All right, so let's make some money. Let's spend some money.
Ultimately, to encapsulate all of that discussion, it comes down to trust. So if you don't have the trust, build the trust, you'll overcome that objection. I honestly have not had anybody ask me for a reference in almost a year.
And it's because they don't have to, because once you go in there, they're going to look at your shit, and they're going to find your business and make sure that you are at least trustworthy. They might not go through your entire website and even look at your pricing or service offering or anything. That's why they're going to ask you 1,000 times what the price is. But they will ask you potentially about having references, or at least wanting to know, can you actually do what you're trying to sell me you can do for a few $1,000s a month. So guys, if you are enjoying this video so far, just do me a favor. We're going to get back into some questions here in a second. Just do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button right below this video. That does me a huge favor just by doing that. And you guys know I get tons of people all the time asking me, Jordan, how can I help you? How can I help you do this? And the most that I could ever ask from any of you, seriously, and it's the simplest thing you could do, is just hit that thumbs up button so other agency owners just like you get access to information from these guys. We have another question though, that I think is going to get it's definitely one that a lot of people struggle with. I know it's something that when I first started out, I struggled with it. I'm sure tons of people on this call, I know these two probably struggled with it. When you guys are dealing with cold calling, how do you actually get past the gatekeeper? This is a big issue in sales. Everybody has this problem, especially when you first start, is trying to figure out, how do I get past that person that's just sitting there going to tell me no? And I know from my experience, it comes down to, at least the biggest tip I can give you, is making sure that you're reaching out with a few things already in mind. Number one, who is the decision maker? If you don't know who that person is ahead of time, that's fine. But that should be one of your first questions, is figure out, who here handles the marketing? Who here is responsible for making the decision of trying to, either buy or perform a new marketing campaign? Who is that decision maker? But before you even get on the call, you should be on the website doing two things. Number one, trying to find out who the decision maker is, because that's going to help narrow it down. So that way when you get on the phone, you say, hey, is Justin available? They're going to be like, the owner? Yeah, Justin, the owner. Can I speak to him? Don't even approach it as, hey, this is Jordan, a marketer. Can I speak to your owner? No. Just go in almost like you know the person. People are actually kind of likely to hand the phone over to that person because you acted so confidently in your ability, or really in the reasoning why you were calling, which is you knew them. The second thing is, find something wrong with their business. All right, what happens a lot of the time with a gatekeeper is their typical response is, oh, well, we don't really need marketing, or, oh, we already have marketing. A quick rebuttal to that response is easily just, okay, I totally understand, Mrs. or Mr., whoever you are. But the big issue, I think, is, you say that you don't need marketing, but I found all of these errors that are really keeping your lead generation from really being what it could be at. I noticed just by not having, let's say, for example, the Facebook pixel set up on your site, what's the point of running Facebook ads if you can't remarket then later on to people who have already visited your website, which are the people who are most likely to buy? So I always come in with two things. Again, trying to figure out already beforehand who the decision maker is, but then after that, determining what kind of issues can I pinpoint with their marketing campaign currently that are going to allow me to open up conversation a little bit more and getting that gatekeeper talking. Because here's the thing, what I've found is it's mostly about getting the gatekeeper to start talking to you. If all they do is shut you out and they just keep shutting you out, then that's all that conversation will be. But if you start asking questions like that require more of a response than a yes or a no, or we don't need that, it's going to get them talking, which is going to make them a little bit more comfortable with you, which will carry the conversation on later into the point where you can actually ask about setting an appointment or sending over a BSL or some kind of audit or something. But even then, again, I still recommend never sending over anything without some kind of call put up. Justin, what do you think?
It's funny you asked this question. I actually just shot a video. That's why Zach's laughing, because I told him about it. So many people ask this question. I just shot a video. Like, my background is in healthcare sales, kind of like a pharmaceutical rep. So what I would do is go in, like literally go into an office and try to get past that front desk to the doctor in the back. You thought like calling people on the phone was hard.
Past without even saying things?
No.
I thought you were just like, yo,
No.
I made it to the back. I get to talk to him.
You're kind of like, hey, what's going on? Justin here, and then you're kind of like wiggling your way to the back.
Gotcha.
So I did a whole video on that. We'll drop some links, hopefully, if that's cool.
Yeah, of course. We're gonna have all of their social media links, so you guys will be able to reach out to them. You'll be able to follow their YouTube channels and their journeys, because they're putting out training too. But
the biggest thing that I think, let's try to put yourself in the gatekeeper's mindset, right? So most of them are trained to like filter out the good people to the bad. So there are some people who call and get in touch with the decision maker, right?
Right.
So the front desk or whoever it is, they're trained to like filter out those people. So like put yourself in their shoes. You have to have a really, really good reason to talk to that decision maker to actually get past them.
Right.
Right. So put yourself in mind. Like actually come to them with like, hey, I was actually talking to Dr. Smith and he emailed me. He said that he was interested in marketing. I know you guys probably get a lot of marketing calls, but he asked me to give him a call at this time. He said he would be available. He said it would just take a couple of quick minutes. I know he's super busy. I know he's in clinic. Like if he's a chiropractor, I know he's in clinic. This will only take a couple minutes. I promise you. This is not something that's going to get drug out.
Right.
So that's what I would recommend is always come to them like you're about to add the doctor or the whoever you guys are calling a lot of value.
Right.
Like you're someone of importance that should actually be speaking to that person.
And the confidence is another thing, guys.
Right,
the biggest thing I think was the way he delivers it. It seems confident. It automatically appears as if you know the doctor and that you've had this conversation before, even if you hadn't. Right. So the biggest thing is being confident. What do you think, Zach?
Yeah. So everything they just shared is huge, right? And it's mostly what I do. My entire approach when it comes to getting past that gatekeeper is one, keep it short and sweet for that initial ask. They pick up the phone, and I call them by their first name. Like if it's a doctor's office, I never say, hey, is Dr. Jamal available? It's no, hey, is Eric available? Because if it's first name, it seems like it's more of a personal relationship and a personal call rather than a business call.
Right.
And if they, 9 times out of 10, they're going to ask, yeah, where are you calling from? And then I will go into, this is Zach with Luckless Digital. I spoke with Eric over email. He asked me to give him a call today. I was trying to give him that quick call. It's only going to take just a few minutes of his time and see if we can get something set up here pretty quick. And usually they'll put you on hold and go back and ask the decision maker, do you want to take this call? But it gets you that step forward. And if that does not work, consistency. Consistency is key.
And your follow-up, all of it.
If they say call back tomorrow at 12,
you better
back
tomorrow at
12. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
11:59, you're dialing that number.
Yeah.
And the whole process is, it may take you 6 or 7 times calling that doctor's office before this front desk rep either tells you to pack your shit and leave, or, he's freed up, you can talk to him now.
Yep.
Or another thing that I like to do is, hey, is Eric available? No, he's with a patient right now. Okay, perfect. Is there a better time that he's available? Or does he take his lunch between 1 and 2? Or when does he take his lunch? When would be a better time to call back? Before they can ask me, where are you calling from? I always shift it real quick. When is he going to be available? And I'm calling back at that exact time.
Yep. Every now and then, I like to throw this question in there. Okay, he's not available right now? Okay, perfect. He asked me to give him a call. Do you mind? Is there a better number for him?
Yep.
Trying to get the cell phone.
Right.
Probably 8 out of 10 times they're not going to give it to me, but I've actually got the doctor's cell phone using that.
You got to take whatever strategy you can when it comes.
When that happens, I'm like, yes, you shouldn't have done that, but yes.
You're probably going to get fired.
And that goes into a point that if you guys don't know, you should know. Rob Quinn, sales expert when it comes to agency-related sales. But you guys, one thing that he told my sales rep, because he's actually training my in-house sales rep, One thing that he told him was because TJ kept going out and he would get an email from the gatekeeper. Well, what email does the gatekeeper give you? The info email, the support email, the general email of some kind, right? Which is fine. You can email that email address. But an important thing to do that he was not doing that Rob told him he should be doing, which is, for me, it was natural because I've done it for so long, but it was something that, it doesn't come naturally unless you think about it, but you need to ask for other emails. So they say, yeah, here's our email, info@business.com. Cool. Thank you for letting me have that email. Now, is there any other emails of people who would be responsible for your marketing or for, big decisions like this that I should also include in this email? So that way, we don't have to play the telephone game and you don't have to worry about trying to pass the message along. So acquiring not only that info email, but making sure to ask. You won't believe how many businesses will be like, oh, yeah, I mean, we have this email too. That's the business owner's email. Cool. Now we actually have their direct email. Yep. Also, I'll give you a little tip. You really want to do well? Get hunter.io. If you don't know what it is, check it out tonight. Trust me, you'll love it. I'm not even going to explain it because it is very self-explanatory when you get there. But
there's enough tutorials on
hunter.io, I'm telling you, you will love that because it helps you get the email that you're supposed to be talking to begin with. So, Jarrell, great question on gatekeepers. Let me see if somebody new has a question that hasn't been able to get one answered yet. Steven.
Cheers from Spain.
Hootsuite for managing. Sorry, Steven. Tonight we are only focusing on sales-related questions. I'm sorry. Make sure to tune in next week, though, and we can get that question answered. I only have these guys for so long, and I want to make sure that you guys get as much sales-related and client acquisition-related information as you possibly can.
Everything's always about the niche.
Mm-hmm. Dude. People want to know. They think, well, that's the thing. They think that
that's
there's
the
one
ticket.
niche.
Yeah.
Well, they think, I can just find this niche that's going to pay out. But every niche pays. Yeah. Every fucking niche pays, guys. Like, if you want to make money, it's not just one industry out there that's spending all this money.
Can I make a huge comment here that's going to solve every fucking niche question that comes out? Read the book, Good to Great. That book alone will show you great businesses in an industry that's packed with hundreds of competitors.
Yep.
There is a key thing that separates them. Go read that book and learn it because every niche pays. It does not matter if you are going after pest control companies, porta-john companies, or you're going after chiropractors. Whichever niche you are, develop the best system for that niche and no one's going to be able to beat you. But also, don't expect an overnight fucking win.
And also understand your niche. A big issue that people have is, the best example I can give is restaurants. So many people will go out there and find a one-location pizza shop, which if you know anything about restaurants, pizza shops probably make less than any other type of restaurant out there because of the fact that you can feed a whole family on one large pizza, which costs me $15-20. Whereas if I go to Longhorn Steakhouse to feed my family of 4, now I'm paying $150 to $200, right? Big difference. So you have to understand, okay, well, if I am going to target pizza restaurants, I probably need to make sure that they have at least 3 to 5 locations before they're at a point where they can afford my services. So like we're trying to say, the biggest point is every niche is profitable. Are you targeting the right types of customers that will make that niche profitable for you and your agency? Justin, what are your thoughts?
Those porta potties are where it's at, dude.
Sorry for dropping the F-bomb, too.
No, you're good. You're good.
Wants a niche.
This is real shit. Like, that's the thing. When you get serious about it, like, you just kind of get raw with it, and it's hard to contain sometimes.
Like, honestly, being straight up with you guys. So I got caught in that same exact niche question that every new agency does it. Realistically, what it comes down to, if you're just getting started, maybe you've got one client, no clients, try a couple, okay? Try a couple and see what you're good at. Because honestly, if you're not good at it, probably shouldn't be in it. Focus your energy on the things that you're good at. Do those things, systemize them, and then build a business around it. If you can deliver phenomenal results for a niche, it's right there you're going to be able to scale.
Guys,
it's about delivering.
There's so much opportunity out there. Marketing is, I don't even know how, like multi-trillion dollar industry.
Yes.
3.2.
Everyone could get $1 million and there would be a lot more left on the table. Right? So we're probably one of the most competitive niches out there. Real estate and chiropractors. And we're still making a lot of money. Yeah. It's crazy. So don't get hung up on the niche thing, right? Yeah. Just if you're starting out, try to get clients and then try to figure out what you're good at, what you like, and then kind of, go from there.
My thing, guys, about the niche is what I think works the best, or the approach that works the best. It's what we do in our Done With You agency program. We look at your past experience because that really makes it easier, because it's all about relatability. It's all about building trust. So the more you can relate to a potential business or a potential client, the more likely you are to sell that person. So for example, TJ, my internal sales rep that I mentioned to you guys, was going after all these types of businesses. And so I stopped him and I asked him, I was like, TJ, but you don't have any experience with those types of industries. So tell me about your past. What was your past professional experience like? And he told me, he's like, well, when I was younger, I did tree removal and tree climb. Why is my flashlight on? Sorry. He was like, I did tree removal and tree. Basically, he climbed trees, cut down and trimmed them, did all of that. So he understood the tree removal industry directly. So I was like, okay, so why aren't you talking to those guys? Because you speak their language. You've done it. And not to mention, it's a great segue into conversation to say, hey, my name is so-and-so, I'm calling on behalf of R&B Marketing. We've had some really great results for tree removal companies just like yours, and we would love to share those experiences with you guys. Also, the great thing is I actually used to do this, and then get very specific. Do you guys offer like the crane and bucket like type of tree removal? Oh yeah, I used to do that. What it's doing is, though, it's opening up the conversation, making that person a little bit more comfortable with you because you're opening yourself up to them, right? You break the ice by getting weird or getting really just vulnerable with a potential client. All right?
Connecting with them.
Zach, you said there was an interesting question.
Yeah, Donnie
which
had
one?
an awesome question. Denny, what does the demo include? That is a phenomenal.
Wasn't the demo?
So
is
if
that
you got,
something we should share
first,
here? Like that is a value bomb.
well, first clarify what are we talking about with the demo here?
So a demo is you selling whatever it is that you're selling
It's
to
the pitch deck.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's your pitch deck.
Your pitch to the client to try to get them to hire you.
Yeah,
right.
That's the demo.
I mean, I'll share my process, and it goes back into psychology. So if you don't have the social proof, you don't have the video testimonials, this is not going to work for you.
Yep.
But what I do is, the first thing I do is I open up my demo. I have them, we're sharing a screen, we can see each other from webcams, and they can see the presentation that I built. And I tell them right there what to expect. We're not wasting each other's time. Hey, Dr. So-and-so, what's going to happen here is I'm going to explain a little bit about us. I'm going to walk you through an example of a client that we just started working with, show you a couple case studies, then we'll go through exactly how we have delivered these type of results for so-and-so,
right.
And then we'll talk about price, and I can answer any questions you have from there. Sound good? Yep, okay. Next step, I tell the freaking success story of the best results I've ever got for a client in that industry. And I walk them through it. Here's what they were doing before me. And here's exactly the experiences they had, the troubles, the pain points. Drive in that knife and really make it stick. And then from there, show the outcomes. Here's what, the perfect example I have, one of our chiropractors, when we started working with him, he had on average 93 patients per week is what he was seeing. And he wanted to scale, he wanted to hire a new doc so he could step out of the practice, start spending more time with his family. Goal. Okay? Emotion. So from there, fast forward, 9 months since working with us, he sees on average 163 patients per month. He is now taking vacations with his family. He's hired a new chiropractic assistant, and he has job postings out to hire a new chiropractor. I just showed in my demo exactly everything that chiropractor wanted, and we delivered it. Then I play a video testimonial. Right there in my demo, I play his video testimonial, that exact chiropractor. Then I have 12 more video testimonials and screenshots. We made 20 grand in our first month. Thanks so much, Zach. Boom, 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 boom. Literally any trust issue they could ever have with me, all knocked out before I even pitched them or sold them anything. Then from there, I break down our systems and our processes in a 5-step method. Here's what we do. Step 1, this is what we do. Step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. And then what to expect. Here's what we do. We are exclusive to you. We don't work with competitors. We are month-to-month contracts, whatever. Show the price. And I value stack too. So at the end, this is a huge value bomb for you guys who are just starting with your agencies. Value stack, okay? Go research this with Russell Brunson. He does it in all of his VSLs. but you value stack. Show the value by line item of what it is that you're going to be doing for them, and then show the industry standard price. And then show the total value. So if you look at my demo, the total value for everything I deliver would cost that client $9,875 a month. The next slide is my price. But we can get you started today for, boom.
Yep.
Then I shut up.
Yep. And you wait, and you wait, and you wait.
I don't care if you're waiting 10 minutes.
Yep.
You make it awkward.
Yep. That's what people don't understand too. It's one of the oldest sales tricks in the book, but once you drop that price, you shut them. That's like literally what we teach inside DMS 2.0. But guys, we're approaching the hour mark, and I really want them to be able to find out about Conversionly, because here's the thing, guys. You can get all these clients in, but again, the whole reason this company exists is because these two had an issue. Their clients weren't following up with the leads that they were generating for them, then they never set the appointment, which meant they never spent money at that client's business. So these two came together and essentially said, yo, we have this problem. We know what a solution is. We know that they're probably not doing their job as a business to close their own leads. So we need to step in and take control. I love what Zach said earlier, because we actually just got done shooting another video. But Zach said we took control of that situation and realized that if we could manage that side of it as well, we would increase our lead, we would increase our close ratio essentially for the leads that were driving them, which meant more sales for them, which meant more sales for us, because we're not going to lose that client 3 to 6 months down the campaign road because of the fact that all the thousands of leads that I've driven them now haven't converted, right? So I'm going to kind of let them take this part over, but I want you to listen to Conversionly, and this, seriously, if you want to stop chasing as many clients and be able to get a solid base of clients that are just there always because of the fact that you're constantly generating leads and sales for them, this is a product you need to implement into your agency for your clients, okay? So they don't do this for other agencies. I want to make that very clear. They don't do this for other agencies, but they do it for your agency clients, so that way they get better results, meaning you make more money, they make more money, everybody's happy. You don't have to do as much of this cold outreach shit that sucks. Like, all of us know cold outreach sucks. I've never met a person in my life that said, I love cold outreach. That person doesn't exist. And if they do, they're also a serial killer. So don't talk to that person if you ever meet them. But seriously, guys, I'm gonna shut up now and give them the rest of the time to talk about it. Good thing is, guys, what we're about to talk about, if you go down in the description right below this video, there is a link for you to take advantage of this special offer and get those scripts that we mentioned earlier when I was talking to you about getting their scripts that they use for their agency. That is also in that offer right below. These guys are giving you guys pretty much everything you need to scale your business. But let me shut up and let them talk about Conversionly.
Yeah, so guys, as a marketing company, what happens is the company, the clients...
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
So, as a marketing company, what happens is you get the clients, right? And then the clients are hiring you to get customers.
Sure.
Right? However, what a lot of companies do is, they're selling leads.
Right.
So what happens, month one, you get, this big group of, leads coming in around like week 1 and 2, and what normally happens is you're sending the clients the leads, right?
Right.
And then week 1 and 2 go by, and they're like, okay, I got this, we're getting a lot of leads, this is great. And then week 3 and 4, they're like, okay, this is kind of like a little bit of a headache, because now I got to follow up with all the people from week 1 and 2.
There's 150 leads.
And then they're like, oh my gosh. And then think about like all those leads from month 1, and then you do that same thing in month 2. Now they got to follow up with all the leads from month 1.
And then they get pissed at you for sending them so many leads. It's just like, no, that's literally my job.
And then they got to follow up with all the leads from month 1 and month 2, and say you got a 3-month contract. And by month 3, they're like, holy crap, I got to do all this. This is like a part-time, full-time job.
Yeah.
And then what normally happens is they step away after about 2 months because the campaign didn't work.
Not even 2 months.
Yeah,
3 weeks into it.
Yeah, they're like, the campaign isn't working. Like, we're not getting clients. These leads suck. They don't answer the phone. They don't call me back. They don't even remember putting their information in on the ad.
Call me back. Yeah, that's your problem.
Yeah,
You're relying on them to call you back.
So we were like, holy crap. Like, we got clients that we're like doing $10,000-$15,000 in sales for just like a $500 ad spend. And like, this guy's killing it over here. I'm running the exact same thing, like I talked about, like minimal viable product. I'm running the exact same thing with someone in, you know, this area, and this area that's just not happening. So me and Zach, we talk on the phone a lot, and so we were kind of trying to dig down into it, like what was happening, because what we were finding is we were getting a lot of clients, but we were also losing a lot of clients. Right? We had the part about like filling people into our funnel, but if we could just like somehow stop like the outflow, our business was about to shoot up, right? So what we kind of dug into and found out was that the campaign was being like overrun to the fact that they weren't like following up with the leads. It's not the leads were crap. It's just that their sales systems and their follow-up processes was like non-existent or very, very crappy, right? So we were like, dude, we're giving them the leads. We know these leads are, you know, working really good. Why don't we just like do it for them? Why don't we call the leads?
To add in there and interject on Justin real quick, we even, before we went to that step, right? Yeah. We built out automation systems for them to make it as simple as possible. All they had to do was call the lead.
We even gave them call scripts.
We wrote out scripts, just like scripts you get to download for free.
Yes.
We wrote them complete custom scripts on how to succeed.
And I will say that the conversions did increase a little bit.
If they used them.
But it wasn't enough to where like it was like out of the park. So we were like, dude, screw it. We're just gonna hire a bunch of people, and we split it up. Right? It was like 5 full-time people that we had to hire. We're like, okay, from all of my clients, all his clients, it makes sense. Let's do it. And then all of a sudden, the campaign started to work. Magically. It was crazy.
I was closing 20K months.
Yeah, it was like, holy crap. They were sticking around for longer than 3 months.
The only thing that changed was we took success out of their hands, put it back in our hands, and have you lost a client since we started doing this?
No, I haven't.
I have kept every single one of my clients.
I did lose one guy because he said it was December and he's way too busy. So that's my favorite.
We need to cut off the marketing. I can't handle everything.
He wanted to go on vacation, but we're about to sign back up at the beginning of the month. So anyway, what we were doing obviously was generating the leads. Now we're following up with the leads and setting appointments. So they really have no reason for the campaign not to be successful. So the campaign was successful. We were keeping our clients longer. We were like, holy crap, we could do this for other agencies. And that's essentially what Conversionly is. What we do is we partner with agencies and we call the clients. So the agency has a bunch of clients and we call the clients leads. We convert them, we ask them a handful of qualifying questions so that they meet the criteria of the actual client. And then if you have an actual like calendar link, we can set the appointment. And then we send all of that information over. And the cool thing is it's white labeled. It's actually coming from the actual agency themselves' email. Yeah. So Conversionly is just like a ghost, right? We're literally doing all the muscle work. Your clients are going to think that you have internal sales agents actually doing all of this stuff for them, and their conversion. We're seeing conversion rates of anywhere between 45 to 20% of the leads that they send us. Which, if you guys think about it, like a client's not going to leave after that.
No.
Like so, your clients' retention rates are going to like shoot through the roof. You're going to hold on to your clients longer. Because let's face it, like most of the questions that we got here were like on choosing a niche and prospecting and cold calling and like getting clients. That's the hardest part, is to get the client. Once you get the client, you don't want to lose it.
It's cheaper to retain a client than it is to acquire a new one. And to parlay with what Justin was just saying there, I've actually increased my close ratio in my agency for new clients by telling them, hey, we're going to generate all these leads for you. Then we're going to qualify them for you. Then we're going to book them in your calendar for you. Your team doesn't even have to follow up with them.
And that's the best part. You can implement what these guys are doing as an upsell into your own agency services.
You can make more money to keep your client longer.
You're making more money for your agency too, because I'm not going to give you this service for free. If I'm paying, however much per lead, you're going to pay me for that. But I'm also going to make sure that you're getting the results you want with your agent or with your clients.
We've even had a handful of agencies, and don't mean to interrupt.
Sure,
we even had a handful of agencies. We've talked to them, but like, we're going to do this with a couple of our current clients. They sign up a couple of their current clients. And they didn't tell us this, but they said that they reached out to their old clients and actually signed on a couple of older clients.
Yeah,
because
Colin.
of the ISA team.
Yep. Yeah. So Colin brought back in a med spa because he gave them a quick call. Hey, we know we were struggling on getting appointments booked in the last campaign. There was just a little bit of disconnect. I just wanted to let you know we have this brand new service. We actually hired a full-time in-house call center that calls all the leads that we generate for you, and we're going to book those appointments for you. Boom, he closed a $4,000 contract per month by simply adding in our service with it. And it, guys, I'm going to be upfront and honest with you. Justin and I, when it comes down to running our agency, the reason we're at $50K a month, and well, pretty far past $50K a month now, but the reason we've gotten here is because we've taken the approach of we're not just going to see what we can sell and try to sell as much of it as possible. What we're going to do is build the best system out there, eliminate all the bottlenecks, all the breakpoints, solve those so we can keep our clients for 16, 18 months.
And produce results.
Yes.
Because that's the thing. If
That's
you
why
can
they're
get as many
hiring you.
clients as you want, but if you don't actually drive leads that convert, and which we found is not always our fault.
Yeah.
A lot of the time it's the business owner's fault.
9
But if
times
they
out of
don't
10.
convert, they're putting the blame on you or you guys. Like they're literally going to blame you for not getting the results because they didn't do their job. So adding this into your marketing funnel or into your marketing service offering rather to your clients is only a benefit. I've already added them in. Like they're getting it. Basically what we're doing now is we're testing the waters essentially, and then once we're done testing, we're moving forward with this full on campaign because really the biggest thing is I want to know what cost margin, but that's a whole other conversation. Really, guys, the point being is if you want to increase your sales, but not only increase your sales by getting new clients from all the training that we just talked about, but also increase your sales just through client retention and spending less time out there cold calling, hiring sales reps to do cold calling, which you then have to pay more money to. Client retention is the best and easiest way to grow and scale a business.
Compounding effect.
Yeah.
It's the compounding effect.
And the best thing is, what happens when a client gets results at $4,000? I want to spend more. I'm going to spend $8,000 now. I'm
I
going
want
to
to tell
spend
my
$15,000.
friend about
Yeah,
this.
I'm gonna
Remember that guy I
send
went
you
to
a
college
referral.
with?
Yeah.
They just start getting
I'm sending
referrals.
it. And then you add in referral programs, different ways that they can get money back, and then you... There's so many things that you can do, but if you do not deliver results, which you can be delivering results, I've even had clients admit to me, hey, I know it's our fault, but my front desk just doesn't have the time to follow up.
Right.
And that's why they leave.
So guys, to wrap and summarize all of this up, come back up to the front
We
here.
got to get to 20 likes, man, to get that offer.
Oh, that's right. You guys, okay, so what I'm going to do is if I don't get to 20 likes here in just a second, I'm going to go to my sales page that I have for you guys and I'm going to remove a lot of the free gimmies. And not to mention, what I will do is this. I won't let them, because we have one more offer we haven't even dropped yet for you guys. But if we don't get to 20 likes, I'm not going to give away that offer. So if you want to get the offer that these guys are going to give you to test it out at a awesome deal, or to get those sales scripts that these guys are using to reach well past $50,000, if you want those sales scripts, I need to see this channel. Okay, we're already at
There
20.
it is.
I knew you guys would do it.
All you got to do is that.
Yeah, I knew you guys would do it. So thank you guys for doing that. I'm sure Zach and Justin over here really appreciate it. But guys, listen, if you want to scale your agency, if you want to actually get results for your agency, you can see there's a common theme here that I want to highlight, and it's the fact that there are different methods that work differently for each person, right? But ultimately, when it comes down to it, you have to be the one to be able to provide results for those clients if you want to continue to grow and then build that client base. You can't, no marketing agency out there other than one that's already scaled to the point where they have 5,000 clients can work at a churn and burn with a churn and burn mentality. If you're letting go of more clients than you're bringing in, you have an unsuccessful agency. Your agency will decline and fail. So the key is to get great at client retention, right? That can be done easy or easier with a product like this where you have an ISA team already in place making those sales for your clients who, again, think about it. This is the last thing I'll say, and then I want you guys to really let that sink in. But think about it with regards to your business. You're a small business, right? Well, everybody you're reaching out to is typically a small, medium-sized business. At the point where you're at in your business, do you have an ISA team in place or a follow-up process in place to do all of that for you? Probably not. Why? Because it takes a shit ton of time, experience, resources, and money to get something like that set up. So let's go into your client's shoes. Do you think they have that system in place? No. Who do clients usually have answer the phones and do sales rep or do sales calls for a doctor's office? The front admin chick who sits up there on her phone half the day and has never taken a sales course in her life.
Isn't even trained in sales.
So do you really think that she's going to get the results? No, she won't. Get a team like this involved, and it's going to increase the amount of retention, or really just increase retention on those agency clients that you have. But guys, check this out. In the description, right below this video, you will see a link for Conversionly. It's going to give you a few things. Number one, you'll get those scripts that we were talking about that has been able to get these guys to well over $50,000 a month in revenue for their agency. Number two, they're releasing a one-of-a-kind offer that you can only get for so long. I'm in on this offer. I know there's other agency owners out there. These guys are already killing it with this Conversionly product for agency owners that are actually, managing clients because of the fact that it works. The second offer we're doing, or they're doing rather, for the first 100 agencies, so after they reach 100, they're cutting this offer off. There is a cost per lead, right? This isn't a free service. They're not just out there doing this out of the goodness of their hearts, though I really wish you would. But,
I wish you
but
could.
they got to make money off of this, right? So what happens, the way it kind of works is they charge $5 per lead. So every lead that they call, they're going to charge, or really every lead that they go throughout this follow-up process. Nurture, thank you.
Yeah.
Every lead that they nurture and do their whole follow-up process with costs you $5 for life. After they reach 100, in agency clients, they're upping that cost to $7. And who knows? Because if it really does that well, it could go past $7. That's just, they're starting and testing the waters here, right? So it could go well past $7. But I can tell you this, if you were one of the first 100, you'll get it for $5 per lead for life, for all of your clients, okay? All of them. All you have to do, again, is go right below this video in the description, check out that link. I promise you, you will not regret it, and you will easily double or triple your client retention in a matter of like days or weeks because of what these guys are able to do. Last thing, it's not there yet, but when we update the video, we will put it in there. If you guys are wanting to check out Justin over here or Zach and maybe follow up with them, ask them more questions. Number one, you can go to conversionly.io. Again, that link is right down there. I'm sure there's ways for you to reach out to them there. We're going to update the video later with their handles to their YouTube channels, social media pages, so that way you guys can reach out to them there as well. All right. Number one, though, or not number one, but to wrap it up, Zach, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having us,
appreciate
man.
you. Justin?
Yeah.
These guys have taken their time out of they flew from Jacksonville and Raleigh, North Carolina to do this tonight for you guys. So seriously, send them a thank you message. Tell them thank you for doing what they did and for providing all the value that they provided. And just know, if you're really wanting to build a successful agency, then you have to join my program because we are the ones that really do it for agency owners like Zach, like Kayla, like John. I could go through the list of names of students that are now making $10,000, $50,000. Kayla's, I think, at $75,000 or $80,000 a month now. Like, we have the best digital marketing agency program for a reason. It's because we care about you guys, right? Zach was willing to come and do this. Like, it blew my mind, but like, I was just amazed and grateful to see how far he's come in just a couple of years. And now he's living the life that he wants and working for himself, doing what he wants to do rather than what somebody else wants them to do.
Able to pick up and fly to Atlanta on a week's notice. And
With
not have to tell anybody I need
with
time
Justin,
off.
yeah, and just and kind of just hang out in Atlanta for a little bit. So, one last thing that I do want to mention for you guys, leading into that, we have the Digital Marketing School 2.0. You'll want to head over to serialentrepreneur.academy. Obviously, like my channel name, serialentrepreneur.academy. If you go there, go up to courses, you can actually get easier said than done, or easier done than said. We can just show you. So, go to this website that I'm showing you up here right here. Okay, then you're going to click Courses, and you're going to click Digital Agency, Digital Marketing School 2.0. That's your first option. The second option I want to mention is, like I mentioned, we have this whole description for the YouTube video. No, I can't see the description here. Oh, that's because we're in a live video. All right, whatever. I can't show you the description, but go in the description, and at the very bottom of the description is a form. All right, and that form is for my new program that we just launched, the Done With You Agency program, and I'm sure Zach could attest to this. If you guys had a method where I could sit there and basically hold your hand through the whole startup process, how much time would that have saved you?
It would have saved me $60,000 in time that I wasted. I literally used a $60,000 savings account when I launched my agency, burned
I remember
through
you
the
telling me
entire
about
thing,
that. Yeah.
and had my back against the wall, and then I finally hit success.
Yep. So guys, the biggest thing is if you want someone who's able to walk through it with you, that is our new program that we have just launched. It is a little bit more expensive, obviously, than the Digital Marketing School 2.0 where you do it all yourself. But that's because you're working with me, my operations team, and 28 other members of my team to get the results that you need to get in 2 to 3 months instead of 6 to 12 months, which is about what it would probably, you would say it took you.
Time is money.
It takes time to learn this stuff, and you're going to fail. The best thing is if you have a mentor like myself who's already done a lot of the failure, then you can get past a lot of those hurdles that you're going to have to go through that are going to take you 6 to 12 months. So fill out that form. Check out Conversionly for sure. These guys are killing it with that service, and I promise you're going to love it. But that is it for today, ladies and gents. It's been a long day. It's been a long live event, but we have a ton of information that we've been able to give to you guys, and I'm sure that you loved it all. So thank these guys again. Guys, thank you again so much for coming in. It means a ton to me, and I'm sure it meant a ton to everyone on the call tonight. But we're going to get out of here for now, guys. I hope you all have a great evening and have a great weekend. We will see you all next Thursday at the same time, 7:30 p.m. EST, for another live event. But until then, guys, Serial Entrepreneur out. Bye, guys.